Beneath the vast rolling waves of our oceans lies a world filled with mystery and fear. The depths are endless, and the creatures that live there are both strange and terrifying. Join us as we reveal the most shocking discoveries made in the seas and oceans that left scientists stunned. Number 20. Bioluminescent kitefin shark. Scientists were astonished when they discovered the bioluminescent kitefin shark near New Zealand's Chatham Rise. This nearly 6-foot-long shark, also known as Delacious licha, is the largest known luminous vertebrate. The discovery was made in January 2020 during a deep-sea survey where researchers identified 3 species of glowing sharks: the kitefin shark, the black-belly lantern shark, and the southern lantern shark. The kitefin shark inhabits the mesopelagic zone, ranging from 660 to 3,300 feet below the ocean surface. This zone, often called the twilight zone, is characterized by very low light levels, which is where the bioluminescence of the kitefin shark becomes crucial for its survival. Unlike typical bioluminescent organisms that use the luciferin-luciferase reaction to produce light, the kitefin shark's bioluminescence mechanism might be different, which scientists are still exploring. The shark's glowing belly is believed to act as a camouflage, blending with the faint light from above to hide from predators and sneak up on prey. Additionally, its dorsal fin emits light, the purpose of which remains a mystery. The kitefin shark's diet includes small demersal sharks, fishes, crustaceans, and cephalopods, making its bioluminescence an effective hunting tool in the deep ocean. Number 19. Bobbit worms. Bobbit worms, scientifically known as Unus aphroditis, are some of the ocean's most terrifying predators. These creatures, which can grow up to 10 feet long, were first described scientifically in 1788, but their predatory behavior and striking appearance have continued to shock scientists and ocean enthusiasts alike. Bobbit worms live in warm marine waters and prefer to hide in sandy or muddy substrates on the ocean floor. They are mostly found in tropical regions, but can also be spotted in temperate waters. These worms create burrows in the seabed from which they launch their ambush attacks. The only visible part of their bodies while they wait for prey are their 5 antennae, which detect the slightest movement in the water above. Once a bobbit worm senses prey, it strikes with incredible speed and strength, using its sharp, scissor-like jaws to snatch the unsuspecting victim. These jaws are capable of slicing fish in half and injecting a toxin that helps to subdue the prey and start the digestion process. The worm then drags its catch back into the burrow to consume at leisure. Interestingly, bobbit worms have been around for at least 20 million years, with fossil evidence suggesting they have been a significant part of the marine ecosystem for much longer. Their ancient relatives likely fed on prehistoric marine reptiles before modern marine life evolved. Number 18. Underwater brine pools. Underwater brine pools are one of the ocean's most extreme environments, and they hold some of the most fascinating secrets of the deep sea. Discovered in 2020 in the Gulf of Aqaba, a northern extension of the Red Sea, these pools are incredibly salty and completely devoid of oxygen. The research team from the University of Miami's Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Science made this groundbreaking discovery using a remotely operated underwater vehicle on the Ocean Explorer research vessel. These brine pools are sometimes referred to as lakes of death because they are so hostile that any creature that ventures into them is immediately stunned or killed. The pools are dense with salt, making them much heavier than the surrounding seawater, and they do not mix with the ocean water above them. This creates a unique and isolated environment where only specialized microbial life can thrive. These microbes are of great interest to scientists because they can offer insights into the origins of life on Earth and possibly on other planets. Additionally, some of these microbes have been found to produce bioactive molecules with potential antibacterial and anti-cancer properties, making them valuable for medical research. Number 17. Lost submarines. Lost submarines from World War II have been discovered in recent years, offering poignant reminders of the war's underwater battles and the lives lost beneath the waves. In February 2023, researchers confirmed the discovery of the USS Albacore off the coast of Hokkaido, Japan. The USS Albacore was one of the most successful American submarines during the war, credited with sinking 10 enemy vessels, including Japan's largest aircraft carrier, Junyo and Taiho, during the Battle of the Philippine Sea in 1944. The submarine sank in November 1944, likely after hitting a mine, with all 85 crew members lost. The wreckage was identified by distinctive features such as vent holes and a radar dish. Another notable discovery occurred in June 2023 when the wreck of the HMS Triumph was found in the Aegean Sea. This British submarine, lost in January 1942, was located by veteran diver Kostas Thoctorides after a nearly 25-year search. The HMS Triumph had undertaken numerous dangerous missions, including landing British intelligence agents and rescuing trapped soldiers. The submarine, which sank with 64 crew members, is believed to have been lost due to a torpedo hit. Additionally, the USS Harder, a U.S. submarine known for sinking multiple Japanese ships during the war, was found in the South China Sea. This discovery, confirmed in May 2024, highlights the submarine's significant contributions to the war effort and serves as a grave site for the sailors who perished with it. The USS Harder earned multiple accolades, including 4 Presidential Unit citations for its wartime service. Number 16. Eerie faceless fish. Deep down in the waters off Australia's east coast, scientists discovered a bizarre creature that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi movie. This eerie fish, known as the faceless cusk or Typhlinus nasus, was found during a deep-sea expedition in May 2017. It was a thrilling rediscovery since the fish had not been seen in Australian waters for over 100 years. First documented by the HMS Challenger expedition in 1874, this faceless fish, residing at depths of around 13,000 feet, has no visible eyes and its mouth is situated underneath its body. While it might appear that this deep-sea dweller has no face, it actually has eyes embedded deep beneath its skin, rendering them almost useless in its pitch-dark habitat. The mouth, hidden under its bulbous head, is filled with small, close-set teeth, perfect for munching on crustaceans and other small sea creatures. The rediscovery of the faceless cusk was part of a larger expedition led by Museums Victoria, supported by the Cairo Marine National Facility. The team, consisting of 58 scientists from 14 institutions worldwide, explored the abyssal plains, a mysterious environment larger in size than the Australian mainland itself. This peculiar fish caused quite a stir among scientists. Tim O'Hara, the expedition's chief scientist, described the creature as looking like 2 rear ends on a fish. In addition to the faceless fish, the expedition uncovered a variety of other bizarre deep-sea creatures, including giant sea spiders and glowing sea stars. Number 15. Submarine landslides. Submarine landslides are massive underwater landslides that can displace huge amounts of sediment across the ocean floor. One of the most significant discoveries in this area occurred off the coast of Norway, involving the Storegga event and a newly identified older landslide called the Niga event. In March 2023, researchers from the GMR Helmholtz Center for Ocean Research Kiel published a study revealing that the Niga landslide happened approximately 20,000 years ago, 12,000 years before the well-known Storegga event. The Storegga landslide, which occurred around 8,150 years ago, is one of the largest known submarine landslides. It displaced between 2,400 and 3,200 cubic kilometers of sediment, enough to cover Germany with up to 9 meters of debris. This event triggered a massive tsunami that impacted the coast of the North Atlantic and the North Sea. The recent discovery of the Niga landslide provides new insights into the frequency and magnitude of such events on the Norwegian shelf. The study suggests that the Niga landslide removed approximately 1/3 of the sediment initially attributed to the Storegga slide. This earlier landslide significantly changes the understanding of sediment displacement and the potential tsunami hazards associated with these events. Number 14. Zombie worms. Zombie worms, scientifically known as ostacs, are a fascinating and eerie discovery in the deep sea. First discovered in 2002 by researchers from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, these worms have a unique and macabre way of surviving. They consume bones of dead sea creatures, primarily whales. These worms lack mouths and stomachs, so they secrete an acid that dissolves the bone, releasing fats and proteins which are then digested by symbiotic bacteria living within the worms. The nutrients from the bacteria are absorbed by the worms, sustaining them in their dark, deep-sea environment. Zombie worms were initially found on the bones of a decaying gray whale nearly 10,000 feet deep in the Monterey Canyon. Since their discovery, scientists have identified 26 species of ostacs worldwide, including some that feed on the bones of fish and even land animals like cows that have ended up in the ocean. These worms have been found in various locations, including the North Sea and the Mediterranean. Interestingly, ostacs worms exhibit extreme sexual dimorphism. The females, which do the bone drilling and nutrient absorption, can house hundreds of microscopic males within their bodies. This unique reproductive strategy allows them to fertilize their eggs easily without needing to search for mates, ensuring the continuation of their species in the vast and sparsely populated deep-sea environment. Moreover, fossil evidence indicates that zombie worms have been around for at least 100 million years, predating whales and feeding on the bones of marine reptiles like plesiosaurs. Number 13. Antarctic ice fish. In January 2022, scientists made a groundbreaking discovery in Antarctica's Weddell Sea, a massive breeding colony of nototheniod ice fish. This colony spans an astonishing 240 square kilometers, hosting about 60 million nests, each guarded by an adult ice fish. These nests were found scattered across the seafloor about every 10 inches, creating the largest known breeding colony of fish ever recorded. Icefish are unique creatures. They are the only vertebrates known to lack hemoglobin in their blood, giving them a ghostly white appearance. This adaptation allows them to survive in the frigid waters of the Southern Ocean. The discovery was made by a team from the Alfred Wegener Institute aboard the German icebreaker RV Polarstern, using a towed camera system that revealed the extensive nesting grounds. These nests, small depressions in the seafloor mud, typically contain around 1,700 eggs. The breeding site benefits from a warm water upwelling, about 2 degrees Celsius warmer than the surrounding waters, which likely provides an ideal environment for the eggs to develop. The area also supports a rich ecosystem, with the icefish serving as prey for Weddell seals. Number 12. Megalodon babies. Megalodon babies were born as giants, measuring a staggering 6.5 feet in length, larger than the average adult human. This shocking discovery, published on January 11, 2021, in the journal Historical Biology, unveiled that these ancient predators exhibited a grim survival strategy while still in the womb. Megalodon embryos would cannibalize their unhatched siblings, feeding on both fertilized and unfertilized eggs to fuel their growth. This process, known as intrauterine cannibalism, ensured that only the strongest and largest pups survived, emerging as formidable predators right from birth. The study, led by paleobiologist Kenshu Shimada from DePaul University, utilized CT scans to analyze 150 vertebrae from a 15-million-year-old megalodon specimen found in Belgium. These scans revealed growth rings in the vertebrae, similar to tree rings, which helped scientists determine the shark's age and size at birth. By examining these rings, researchers concluded that megalodon sharks grew steadily throughout their lives without significant growth spurts, reaching impressive lengths of up to 50 feet as adults. Number 11. Deep-sea octopus garden. Nestled deep in the ocean off the coast of California lies the extraordinary octopus garden. Discovered in October 2018 by researchers from NOAA and Nautilus Live, this fascinating site, located near Davidson Seamount at a depth of 10,500 feet, is home to over 20,000 pearl octopus, all drawn to the area by the warm hydrothermal springs that flow from the seafloor. As the ROV cameras first illuminated the seafloor, the researchers were stunned to see a shimmering blanket of octopuses carpeting the rocks, their pearly bodies pulsing in the dim light. Everywhere they looked, females were carefully curling around their eggs, the rhythmic movements of their arms creating an almost hypnotic dance in the warm, mineral-rich waters. Small crustaceans and scavenging fish darted between them, living peacefully among the silent mothers guarding their nest. The entire scene radiated an eerie beauty, a deep-sea sanctuary glowing faintly in the darkness, an oasis of life in an otherwise cold, desolate world. These thermal springs create a unique environment, with temperatures reaching 51 degrees Fahrenheit, significantly warmer than the surrounding near-freezing waters. This warmth accelerates the development of octopus eggs, reducing the incubation period from an expected 5 to 8 years to less than 2 years. This shorter brooding period greatly increases the survival rate of the octopus hatchlings, providing a safer environment for them to develop away from predators. The octopus garden is a bustling nursery where female octopuses nest in rocky crevices, laying and tending to approximately 60 sausage-shaped eggs. They protect their eggs with their bodies, living off their own food reserves until the eggs hatch. Number 10. Great Blue Hole of Belize. The Great Blue Hole of Belize is an enormous marine sinkhole. This natural wonder is over 1,000 feet across and more than 400 feet deep, located off the coast of Belize in the Lighthouse Reef Atoll. Initially brought to the world's attention by Jacques Cousteau in 1971, this underwater marvel has continued to reveal fascinating secrets through subsequent explorations. In a recent expedition led by Fabien Cousteau, Richard Branson, and Erica Bergman, explorers used advanced sonar technology to create the first complete 3D map of the Great Blue Hole. This detailed map uncovered remarkable geological formations, such as stalactites, which formed when the sinkhole was a dry cave during the last ice age, about 14,000 years ago. One of the most intriguing discoveries at the bottom of the Blue Hole is the conch graveyard, where countless conch shells lie. These marine mollusks likely fell into the sinkhole and could not escape, eventually running out of oxygen and perishing. Number 9. Football-sized eggs on an underwater volcano. Scientists were left astonished when they discovered an ancient underwater volcano off the coast of Canada that was not only still active, but also covered with up to 1 million football-sized eggs. This incredible find came during the 2023 Northeast Pacific Deep Sea Expedition, where researchers stumbled upon this thriving underwater nursery for Pacific whiteskates, a little-known species related to sharks and rays. The volcano, which rises 3,600 feet from the ocean floor, is located nearly a mile underwater. It was initially believed to be dormant and the surrounding waters frigid. However, the team led by marine biologist Cheris Dupreez from Fisheries and Oceans Canada found it teeming with life. The heat from the hydrothermal vents on the volcano's summit creates a warm, nutrient-rich environment ideal for the development of these large eggs. Pacific white skates, Bathyrraja spinosissima, are among the deepest dwelling skates, inhabiting depths between 2,600 and 9,500 feet. The eggs, often called mermaids' purses, due to their rectangular shape, measure about 1.5 feet in length. Researchers had previously recorded only a handful of skate eggs near the Galapagos Islands, making this discovery of potentially up to 1 million eggs unprecedented and highly significant. The warm waters released by the volcano not only provide an ideal environment for these eggs, but also seem to accelerate their gestation period, which can take up to 4 years. The warmth helps ensure that more juvenile skates survive and grow strong enough to venture into deeper waters. The corals around the volcano offer additional protection from predators, making this underwater nursery a safe haven for the young skates. Footage from the expedition captured a female Pacific white skate laying eggs, a behavior never documented before. Number 8. Ancient underwater forest. Off the coast of Alabama in the Gulf of Mexico lies a remarkable discovery, an ancient underwater forest. This primeval cypress forest, estimated to be between 50,000 to 80,000 years old, was uncovered by the powerful waves of Hurricane Ivan in 2004. Buried under ocean sediments for millennia, these trees have been preserved in an oxygen-free environment, essentially creating a natural time capsule. The forest, situated about 60 feet below the surface, spans approximately 1.3 square kilometers. The trees, some measuring up to 8 feet in diameter, still retain the smell of fresh cypress sap when cut. This underwater landscape has become a thriving artificial reef, teeming with marine life, including fish, crabs, sea anemones, and other organisms that have made the ancient wood their home. The forest provides scientists with a unique opportunity to study past climate conditions. Researchers from the University of Southern Mississippi and Louisiana State University are examining tree rings from the cypress stumps to gather data on rainfall and temperature patterns from the last ice age. These findings could offer invaluable insights into how climate change has historically impacted the Gulf Coast region. Number 7. Deep sea sponges. In 2023, a research expedition off the coast of Alaska's Aleutian Islands uncovered diverse and vibrant communities of deep sea sponges, which play a crucial role in the marine ecosystem. These sponges are fascinating due to their remarkable resilience and adaptability. They can survive in the dark, cold, and nutrient-poor environments of the deep ocean. Deep sea sponges have a unique ability to filter vast amounts of water, extracting nutrients and providing habitat for other marine organisms. Some of these sponges were found to be hundreds of years old, making them some of the oldest living organisms on Earth. One of the most intriguing aspects of deep sea sponges is their potential in medical research. Scientists from the University of Bristol have been studying bacteria from these sponges, discovering that they produced novel antimicrobial compounds. These findings could lead to the development of new antibiotics. Additionally, the 2023 expedition revealed that these sponges form large reefs on seamounts and underwater volcanoes. These sponge reefs create complex structures that support diverse marine life, including commercially important fish species. Protecting these habitats is vital as they are vulnerable to damage from human activities like bottom trawling. Number 6. Methane leak in the Baltic Sea. Researchers identified a massive methane leak spanning 20 square kilometers at the deepest point of the Baltic Sea, known as the Landsort Deep. This unprecedented leak is not just large but also unique in its characteristics, with methane bubbles rising over 1,200 feet toward the sea surface, much higher than typically observed. This discovery in the ocean scared scientists. Methane leaks usually occur near coastal areas where organic matter decays, but this deep-sea leak revealed a different mechanism at play. The methane in these depths often disperses via diffusion without forming bubbles. However, in this case, the bubbles remain intact, likely due to the oxygen-free conditions at the bottom, which slow down the dissolution of methane. The research team led by Marcelo Ketzer from Linnaeus University noticed that the methane bubbles were coated with a layer of frozen methane, allowing them to rise higher than usual. This phenomenon suggests that the oxygen-depleted environment of the Baltic Sea's deep waters plays a crucial role in preserving the bubbles as they ascend. Adding to the intrigue, the presence of methane in such large quantities and at such depths indicates a potential new source of methane emissions that could have significant environmental impacts. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas, and its release into the atmosphere can exacerbate global warming. One possible contributor to this unusual leak could be human activity. Fertilizers from land runoff promote algae blooms, which upon decaying add organic matter to the sediments. This organic matter provides additional food for methane-producing bacteria, leading to increased methane emissions. The researchers are keen to explore how much human actions might be influencing these methane levels. Moreover, This discovery has prompted scientists to investigate other potential methane leaks in the Baltic Sea. They suspect there could be similar emissions in other deep-sea locations, urging further exploration to understand the full extent and impact of these methane seeps. Now it's time for today's topic. The raw power of the Indian Ocean swell off the Eastern Cape always carried an electric, cold dread. Liam Jensen, an experienced but cautious surfer, adjusted his wetsuit as he watched the massive, barreling waves at Jeffreys Bay, South Africa. He and his friend, Mark Davies, had clipped a high-resolution camera onto the nose of Liam's board, hoping to capture the perfect tube ride. Liam finally paddled into a heavy, deep green right-hander. He executed a clean drop, carving a fast line across the face. The ride was exhilarating, the water a blur around him. He emerged from the wave's curtain, oblivious to anything but the thrill. That evening, huddled around a laptop in their rental, they sifted through the footage. Mark paused a frame from Liam's longest ride, intending to crop it. Instead, he simply stared. Projected clearly in the translucent green wall of the wave, just inches behind Liam's feet, was the undeniable shape of a great white shark. Its enormous head and dark, motionless eye were perfectly captured, an apex predator sharing the tube. The two friends didn't speak. The silence of the room was heavier than any wave they had ridden that day. Number 5. Deepest dwelling fish. In an extraordinary discovery, scientists have recorded the deepest dwelling fish ever, a snailfish from the genus Pseudoliparus, at an incredible depth of 27,349 feet in the Izuo Ogasawara Trench off Japan's coast. This depth breaks the previous record of 26,834 feet, held by a Mariana snailfish. This snailfish is a juvenile, which is unusual as most young deep-sea fish are found at shallower depths to avoid predators. These juveniles inhabit extreme depths where the pressure is approximately 800 times greater than at sea level. Their bodies are adapted to these conditions with soft, flexible skeletons and a gelatinous, scaleless exterior. These adaptations help them survive the intense pressure and stay neutrally buoyant without a swim bladder, which would collapse under such conditions. The discovery was made by a team from the University of Western Australia and the Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology, using baited cameras deployed by an unmanned submersible. They captured footage of this remarkable fish. The team, led by Professor Alan Jameson, has been studying these creatures for over 15 years. The same expedition also found two snailfish at a depth of 26,319 feet in the Japan Trench. Number 4. Strange purple orb. During a deep-sea expedition in July 2016, researchers aboard the exploration vessel Nautilus discovered a mysterious bright purple orb in the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary off the coast of California. This peculiar find, nestled at a depth of 5,312 feet, initially left scientists baffled about its nature and origins. The orb, only a few inches across, was retrieved using a robotic vacuum system and brought to the surface for closer examination. Once on board, the orb began to unfold, revealing two distinct lobes. This led scientists to speculate that it might be a new species of pleurobranch, a type of sea slug related to nudibranch, known for their vibrant colors and delicate forms. Further investigations suggested that the orb could also be a fiber sponge or even an unusual egg mass, although its exact identity remains uncertain. The sample was sent to the Harvard Museum of Comparative Zoology for detailed analysis. Number 3. Sunken city of Thonis Heraklion. The sunken city of Thonis Heraklion, once a bustling port at the mouth of the Nile, vanished beneath the waves around the 8th century AD due to natural disasters like earthquakes and rising sea levels. Rediscovered in 2000 by Frank Gaudio and his team from the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology, this ancient city, located 6.5 kilometers off the coast of modern-day Abu Qir in Egypt, has since revealed an incredible array of artifacts and structures. Thonis Heraklion, known as Thonis to the Egyptians and Heraklion to the Greeks, flourished from the 7th century BC until its decline after the rise of Alexandria in 331 BC. This city was a significant center for trade, culture, and religion. It housed grand temples dedicated to gods like Ammonius and Heracles, massive statues, and countless artifacts that highlight its historical importance. The city's layout, with its vast network of canals, resembled a smaller version of Venice. The underwater excavation has uncovered colossal statues, gold coins, ceramics, and even the remains of ancient ships. One notable find is the Stele of Heraklion, which confirmed that Thonis and Heraklion were indeed the same city, solving a long-standing historical puzzle. Number 2. Colossal squid. The colossal squid, known scientifically as Mesonychoteuthis hamiltoni, is one of the ocean's most mysterious and formidable creatures. First described in 1925 by zoologist Guy Robson after finding two colossal squid tentacles in a sperm whale stomach, This deep-sea giant continues to intrigue scientists. The colossal squid inhabits the frigid waters surrounding Antarctica, specifically within the Southern Ocean. It can grow up to 46 feet in length and weigh as much as 1,100 pounds, making it the largest invertebrate on Earth. It also possesses the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, measuring up to 12 inches in diameter. This elusive creature is primarily an ambush predator. It uses its massive arms lined with sharp hooks to capture prey like the Patagonian toothfish. The colossal squid's low metabolic rate suggests it consumes only around 30 grams of prey daily, waiting patiently for unsuspecting fish to come within reach. One of the most notable discoveries occurred in 2007 when New Zealand fishers captured a live colossal squid near Antarctica's Ross Sea. This specimen weighed around 1,100 pounds and provided scientists with a rare opportunity to study the squid's anatomy and behavior. Number 1. Vibrant deep-sea life and mining threats. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, CCZ, has revealed a stunning variety of vibrant deep-sea life, including more than 5,000 species not found anywhere else on Earth. These discoveries, made in 2018, have sparked significant concern among scientists about the potential impacts of proposed deep-sea mining in the area. The CCZ, an area twice the size of India, is rich in valuable minerals like manganese, nickel, and cobalt, essential for modern technologies such as smartphones and electric vehicles. However, this underwater treasure trove is also home to unique species like gummy squirrels, single-celled organisms the size of softballs, and strange polychaete worms, many of which were previously unknown to science. Researchers, including Muriel Rabone from the Natural History Museum in London, have emphasized the critical need to understand the biodiversity of the CCZ fully before any mining activities commence. The region's ecosystem is incredibly fragile, with species that appear to be very rare and potentially highly susceptible to environmental disruptions. Despite the economic allure of deep-sea mining, scientists argue that the environmental risks are too significant. Disturbing the seabed could lead to the loss of biodiversity and ecosystem functions that might be irreversible, affecting not just the deep-sea organisms but potentially the broader oceanic environment. Thanks for watching another episode. Click the next video on your screen to keep exploring more amazing content.